What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so before I get into this video, I want to give a big shout out to the brother Elijah Merritt for the $50 donation via the Cash App. Much respect to him for once again showing love to Too Raw for TV. He's been subscribed to this channel since 2015, since the Warriors began their epic championship runs. And unfortunately, it looks like we may be near the end of the Warriors dynasty. It remains to be seen, but it's not looking good. It's not looking good. But shout out to him for showing love once again. Real good brother. And let me get this off my chest right quick before I go forward. I had to block some clown on my Too Raw for Sports channel. He may show up on my other two channels, this one and Apocalypse Now, just writing dumb stuff. Basically, he says I'm a solicitor, that I come on here and beg for money. First of all, you're miserable for saying that. Very miserable. Secondly, when do I ever come on here and I hardly even acknowledge that I have a Cash App or a PayPal? What I will do is, if someone is generous enough to donate to my platform, I will acknowledge it, unless they indicated, you don't have to, some people sometimes say, you don't have to shout me out. Then, of course, I will acquiesce to that request. But it's just common courtesy, if someone donates to your platform, to shout them out and show your appreciation. So what are these people talking about? It's just crazy, man. It's crazy. But anyway, let's talk about the second night of the play-in tournament. Now, of course, the Philadelphia 76ers, had it not been for the fact that Joel Embiid got hurt, would have been a much higher seed. But be that as it may, they were lower. And they were playing the Miami Heat for the 7th seed. Of course, the 7th seed will have the challenge of playing the New York Knicks, who fall all the way to 50 wins and the 2nd seed this season. Amazing performance by Jalen Brunson this season, especially in the last month of the regular season. The Miami Heat were poised to win the game last night. They were poised to win the game last night. And they almost did. They almost won the game last night. And had Tyler Hero not been misfiring for much of last night, they would have won last night. And the Sixers would have been contending for the 8th seed instead of having their ticket stamped to play against the New York Knicks. Much of the first half, the Sixers were misfiring. Joel Embiid seemed ineffective. And Miami's defense was really causing the Sixers some problems. It wasn't just that. The Sixers were just missing a lot of easy shots they normally make. And whatever the case may be, at halftime, they were down 51-39. And it could have been worse. It could have been worse. It could have been worse. But the Sixers were able to come back in this contest. And a lot of it had to do with the performance of Nicholas Batum. Nicholas Batum this season, I believe, was averaging about 5 points per contest. But last night wound up with 20 points. And Nicholas Batum, a long-time veteran in the NBA, many playoff games, a lot of playoff experience, man. It showed last night because he really filled in the gap that was needed because, if I'm not mistaken, Tyrese Maxey wasn't necessarily his normal self, and Joel Embiid, until late, really was struggling. Tyrese Maxey had 19 points, but we know he's capable of having. We know he generally gives you 25 to 30, and he's capable of giving you 40 to 50. So Maxey had a bad shooting night. There was a lot of missed easy shots that I remember the Sixers. There was just a lot of easy missed shots, but a lot of that was probably just Miami's defense, you know what I'm saying? Joel Embiid, I'm going to tell you something too, man. Bam Adebayo, and this is just from watching the games, because they played each other the last few years. Well, I know they played each other last year, the Heat and the Sixers. Bam Adebayo gives Joel Embiid problems. He does. I know a lot of people are going to blame it on injuries if they get eliminated or they lose. As far as Embiid's concerned, I'm not going to do that this time. I'm not. Because Giannis doesn't give that, he doesn't get any passes for that. You know what I'm saying? Giannis does not get any passes for that. Now, I've been kind of rooting for Embiid a little bit this year because, damn, like this guy always, it's always something when it comes to him in the postseason. So I was hoping that he'd be healthy, relatively fresh, because he didn't have to play the entire season this time. You know? Now all of a sudden, it's like the Sixers have a built-in excuse. If they lose, oh, well, Embiid was hurt. And then I'm also noticing something else, too. I'm noticing people already giving Nick Nurse excuse if they lose. Well, Joel Embiid was hurt. Really? That wasn't an excuse for Doc Rivers. But anyway, the Sixers were able to hold on to a 105-104 victory. Joel Embiid did come alive late in the game. He had a big momentum-shifting three, made some smart decisions as far as with the basketball. I remember one particular sequence where I think he was double-teamed. It was pressing him, the Heat. And I think he passed it to a cutting Kelly Oubre for a layup. That was a big basket. Maxey had a big basket down the stretch of that game. You know, so they were able to gut it out. And they are so lucky, to me, though, that Miami was misfiring from outside. Because there were some shots down the stretch for Miami that they were wide open, but they just weren't falling. And Jimmy Butler got hurt during the game himself. You know, so Jimmy Butler and the Heat tried, but they just came up a little bit short. Matter of fact, to be honest with you, time just ran out. That's pretty much what it was. Time just ran out for Miami, who were trying desperately to come back and win that game. But I think Joel Embiid had 23 points, 15 rebounds. For, you know, most other sins, that'd be a great night. But a guy that was putting up 35, 40 points per game in the regular season, you know, it is what it is. But they win, so they will go on to play the New York Knicks and Miami. Well, it's a rematch because they get to play the team that they eliminated to play in last year, the Chicago Bulls, who were able to defeat the Atlanta Hawks. I'll do a video on that shortly. Matter of fact, remember, Chicago was only like 3 minutes away from eliminating Miami in the play-in, and Miami came back and won like 91. No, that wasn't the score. I think they were down 91-83 or something at one point, and then Miami came back and won the game 1-0 something. I can't remember the score now. But to know that happened, and then for Miami to get the 8th spot and then eliminate the Milwaukee Bucks, then eliminate the New York Knicks, and then the Celtics, only to fall to the Denver Nuggets in 5, I think it was. Still a great run. But anyway, that's all I got to say in this one, man. Tell me what you guys think.